Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. We have a really special episode for you today.
Do we?
Yes. It's called Chris Peaks.
I haven't even begun to peak.
You haven't? All right. So
all of Philadelphia will know when I peak.
Well,
they will feel it.
What do you mean by they'll feel it?
They'll know. They'll know when I peak.
All right, yeah. So welcome to the podcast.
I just imagine a lot of people in Philadelphia just like, he did it. Like nothing like the earth shaking. Just a bunch of people all at once. Like, yeah, he for sure peaked.
And it's great because we're not in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so we
it'd be the most random place for that to happen.
All right, we're gonna play a fun little game called $1 Million But. Chris, could you explain the game for us?
We have black cards and we have yellow cards. Black cards have examples such as $1 million blank, and then the yellow cards are the follow-ups, and they just come with really ridiculous scenarios, and you decide on what scenario is what you would do least for $1 million.
We're not going to play the full game. We're just going to be kind of reading the scenarios and really just kind of discussing them because we've played this game so much that we have some pretty good ideas of what to talk about.
Also, the game is made by the lovely people over at Rooster Teeth, who in no way sponsor this podcast.
But they should. Also, I'm eating pizza.
I mean, same. But no, yeah, shout out to them. Thank you so much for making a game like this. It is a lot of fun. And if you haven't played it, we suggest highly that you do.
It's like Cards Against Humanity, but better.
I wonder if they can hear me chewing.
Maybe if you do it very okay.
Oh no!
Like that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I can't listen to this now.
Yeah, we won't do that anymore. The sound of chewing.
Don't worry, we'll boost it up in editing.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Aaron's voice just sounds like that all the time. So.
Aaron's voice is me chewing pizza.
I'm just a piece of food being chewed. That's all I am. But anyway, to go off of that.
All right, so everyone just pick a card.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. A black and a yellow.
Yep.
And I will start. All right, so $1 million, but every time you see a coin on the ground, a cloud of mosquitoes is released near you.
Oh God.
Jeez, how close?
How many mosquitoes?
A cloud.
That's
a small
thousands.
cloud.
That's thousands.
That's
at
thousands.
least. So.
Have you ever walked through?
Man,
have you ever walked through a cloud of gnats?
Yes.
Can you imagine walking through a cloud of
never
and
have.
gnats are tiny. Okay, and for everyone on the podcast, I'm using my hands, so you really can't see this. But imagine very small. All right, very very small. Some might say the size of a gnat. Anyway, so imagine that they're like this small, yay small, super small. Mosquitoes are comparatively much larger than a gnat. So the cloud of a gnat's, let's say, the size of a large beach ball. The cloud of mosquitoes would be like a van, if at least. So
what's the density of the cloud that we're talking about? Are
for
we talking
it
about
to
like the
truly be
giant
a cloud,
fluffy
I think
clouds like humongous? What's it called?
Dude,
humongous.
that guy's like 6'7". He's humongous.
Okay. Imagine. Okay, so you know how like you can on a really hot and muggy day you can feel yourself basically walking through
every day
the
in
mugginess.
Wilmore this semester.
Okay, imagine that, but it's bugs with like needles for noses.
Good old needle nose mosquitoes.
Yep. Oh, that rhymed. That was actually impressive.
Anyway, I'm a poet and I actually had no idea.
So that's kind of the size of it. But no, so this happens every time you see a coin on the ground.
God.
Oh, and how far away? Like, are they going after you, or are they just released near you?
Let's say
the card says it's just released near you.
Let's say it's released within a quarter mile of you. Quarter mile is not that big.
And they're not deliberately going after you.
I'll say that it has to be released close enough to you for you to notice.
You'll probably hear it.
You have to know that either if you see it or it's close enough to you for you to hear or feel it. You have to know that it's been released near you.
God, can you imagine just hearing a cloud?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably what it would sound like if I were to guess.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, but so let's think here. This only happens every time you see a coin on the ground, right?
Aaron, we have a dime on our rug right now.
I know. I look at it every day.
I think I do too.
I'm gonna open the door to the hallway and get eaten on my way back to
Yeah,
What's this? Who's this pile of bones? Oh, it's Jacob.
Oh,
Why?
again?
There was a quarter on. There was a dime on the ground.
And that's not just walking and seeing like a coin on the ground. If you drop a coin on the ground, then it becomes a coin on the ground.
As long as you don't look at it when it lands.
This becomes like in a certain amount of time. I don't know a mosquito lifespan, but like, oh, sorry, a little bit of a chest convulsion there. But like, I don't know the lifespan of a mosquito, but every time you like see a coin, especially if you live in like a larger area, that starts to really add up the amount of mosquitoes. That would be,
but how about this?
true.
Like, for every coin you see, is another cloud added, or does one cloud just replace the old one? So there's just one cloud always.
I feel like that's not bad, and I would take that $1 million. But if it was being added, oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that
I
would
think
destroy
it would
your.
be
If there were multiple clouds, and if they were coming after me, I would not take the $1 million.
So if you see like one coin on the ground, it's just one cloud equivalent of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
But if you see, like, if someone drops, let's say, a handful of pennies on the ground, that's the apocalypse. Like that's
that's the next plague.
Like
Yeah.
imagine a bank teller just trips and falls.
Oh,
We're all dead. Our crops
Dude.
are gone. If all of the blood in our body hasn't been sucked out by that point, it's horrible.
he burned our crops, destroyed our water supply,
And
and
sucked
delivered
all
a
the
plague
blood
onto
from
our
our
houses.
bodies. Sorry.
All right, so I think we can all agree we would not take the $1 million.
I wouldn't take that $1 million.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. If it's like, even if you live a life where you don't see coins that often, it'd be too annoying. Like, you just get.
That sound.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, the
I
sound.
don't like mosquitoes. Like, have you ever, and it always happens with just one individual bug, but like when a mosquito will fly really close to your ear,
yeah.
it's the worst.
Wow,
Yeah,
that was
just
pretty
about-
good. Dude, you know what I hate the sound of more than mosquitoes?
What?
The sound of cicadas.
But
No.
cicadas is
Cicadas
so
are
few and far
terrifying.
between.
So,
I hate cicadas.
I think.
You know what we call
I
those
don't
back
know.
home? We call them katydids.
Go on.
That's just what we call them back home. Katydids. All right.
All right, so no
All
million.
right.
All right, so no million. I'll go next.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
No,
Yeah,
million.
we keep going.
Yeah.
$1 million. Oh, jeez. But every time you use a metaphor, you have to walk barefoot on a pile of Legos.
Dude, that's like
And it's
walking.
Legos, not Lego blocks like the card says. It's Legos.
Listen, that's like walking on Legos is like walking on glass.
It's probably worse.
I'm already saying no. I don't even need to
How
discuss
often
this
do you
for
use
myself.
metaphors?
I use metaphors all the time.
Constantly.
All right. I don't
Yeah.
use metaphors at all, so I feel like I could take this.
Okay. Yeah,
But think about how calloused your feet would get. So at some point you'd get
Oh.
used to it, you know?
Oh.
Like you'd have hobbit feet, but you'd be all right.
Oh. Okay,
your
wait,
feet
wait,
would
wait,
have
wait,
like
wait.
dents in them.
I'm not thinking selfishly enough about this. All right.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's think about this like business, all right? So,
Go on.
every time you use a metaphor,
Yep.
you have to walk onto a pile of Legos.
Barefoot.
Okay. You sacrifice a bit. Eventually, you'll get used to it if you do it enough. If I say, let's say, 100 metaphors a day, you know how many Legos that is? A lot. You know how much I could sell that? A lot.
But you already get $1 million if you take that.
Oh,
Also,
exactly.
you could use that $1 million.
So that's just the base for a business.
That is.
You could also use that $1 million to just give yourself robot feet.
Exactly.
Or actual bare feet.
Ooh.
I feel like Bear would still feel the pain.
Have you not seen the massive sticks they walk on?
Bears.
Oh, that's true.
Would not feel a
Oh, like have you ever felt the bottom of a dog's foot?
Yeah,
like how rough
it's
it
just
is?
a pad.
Oh, that's true.
Also,
Yeah.
to our listeners, I'm sick a little bit, just recovering from like a really bad cold. So you're gonna hear me like sniffing. So I apologize for that.
They probably won't pick up on that.
Yeah, well, now they will.
Yeah. All right, so
No million. I would say no million.
I don't use enough metaphors to say no to this. I'd take it.
Yeah, I'd say yes. I'd figure out a way to make it work, for a profit.
Fair.
All right, Jacob, what do you got?
Yeah.
All right. $1 million, but every time you step on a crack, you learn exactly when and how someone you love will die.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay. Are we count? Oh.
All right. Hold on. Let me say something about
I don't
this.
want that information.
I'm ridiculously OCD, so I watch my feet. This is a little fact. I watch my feet as I walk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever step on cracks. Like, ever. And also, if you know when and how, you can be there at that moment.
Okay.
And maybe help them.
What's a crack?
Yeah. Okay. Let's ask
Crack
the
in the
question here.
sidewalk.
Are we counting a
The pavement between
nature-made crack? That's a crack. Are we counting a man-made line between
crack.
two blocks of concrete?
I feel like
crack?
I'd say that and the nature.
I gotta look up definition.
Look up the definition of a crack for us.
I'm nervous as to what's
And
going to
not
come
the
up on
drug.
the internet when you
I'm
help
not
me.
either. I'm using Merriam-Webster for anyone out there. That is an actual dictionary. If you didn't know that, shame on you.
Sorry.
You're not using Urban Dictionary?
I guess I'm not a history major.
Oh.
You're right. That's all I got.
Yeah, history majors
All right, so-
suck.
No, they don't. They're great.
No, I
Please
see
pay
all
us.
the work you have to
Please
do.
pay. That is true. We do have to do a lot of work, but it's so fun.
Is it?
If you're a history major,
Some of it
listen
is.
to this.
It's not as bad as educational.
Yeah. Dude,
Educational.
hold on, no.
majors.
Let's be real. Education majors graduate college just to go back to school again.
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah.
life is that?
But then you get paid to go to school.
I would not. You couldn't pay me to go back to school after
Me
I
either.
graduate.
If you heard how much a family member of mine makes, and
Is it your dad?
No.
Is it your mom?
I'm only being very general because I don't know how they would feel about me discussing how much they make, because that is an actual personal thing that people don't like discussed.
It's
But
definitely your sister.
yeah, but
Everybody in your
your-
family's a teacher.
it
Your
is.
dog.
But
That's crazy.
some of them do make a significant amount of money from their job,
Dude,
more
Aaron's
than
gonna be
you
a
would
teacher.
think.
Yeah, but Aaron, listen to Aaron's voice. You know he's going to be a teacher.
And the class on, welcome. Let's talk about the world.
Why don't you guys call me Mr. S? Mr. Schneeblay. School of Rock reference for those who didn't pick up.
Dang it, yeah, that's true.
Good movie.
Anyway, okay,
Great
so
movie.
break, full definition. Crack.
Go on.
No, I'm
Tell
trying
me about your crack, Aaron.
I'm trying to look for
All your cracks.
noun. Right, this is giving me the verb. Okay. A thin line in the surface of something that is broken, but not separated into two pieces. So two separate blocks of concrete, the line in between those is not a crack, because that is the separation between them.
There is no separation now. Shout out to Tom Mangione. Sorry.
So I mean,
That was a lot of. That was a good chunk of silence we had.
There was at
Yeah,
least
sorry.
2 seconds.
That was called contemplation.
yeah. Anyway, okay, so
What
Okay,
was
so-
the card again?
$1 million, but whenever you step on a crack, you learn the time and way of a family member's death.
We didn't even get to that second one. And it was loved ones.
The loved ones. Oh, gosh, that expands it.
I couldn't do
That
it.
doesn't have anyone in this
I don't
room.
I don't
so-
want to know that.
Wow. All right.
I don't
that's
want
cool.
to. I don't.
kidding.
I
no,
couldn't.
yeah, we don't love you either, Aaron.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you know what?
Gee.
Podcast over.
We're done.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Final episode.
Final episode. Chris peaked here. This is
this
was it.
Philadelphia felt it.
3 episodes of a podcast. Chris peaked for sure.
Yep. This is where I die.
All right.
I couldn't handle that information.
I couldn't.
It's too much.
Yeah. It would be a problem.
Like, I avoid cracks as it is, but that's too risky.
That's why I avoid cracks now in my adult life. That's a reference you guys don't understand.
Or you just army crawl everywhere. You just kind of slide around like a slug.
But you're still going
but
over
then you're
cracks.
just rubbing your
not,
whole body over a crack.
But that's not stepping on a crack.
I'm sure there are universal laws that would be like, no, that's bullcrap. You can't do that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Stepping is such a specific.
The universe wouldn't.
Look, that's a step. I'm making a step for the podcast.
He's not. He's sitting on his bed.
Just step really hard. You can hear that.
And then I'm making a sliding motion with my foot. That's a slide, not a step.
You're a slide.
So if I just got really slick shoes and slid everywhere, yeah, that's
the universe wins.
I'm gonna be honest, that's bullcrap. Yeah, but I couldn't do it.
No.
I couldn't do it either, but I feel like if I was careful, I could do it. Now, Aaron, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Before we started this podcast, this episode, you were explaining to us what you would pay somebody a lot of money to do. What is that thing?
Go on.
Please, Aaron, enlighten us.
You don't understand.
On what you would pay
These
money
listeners,
for.
I have so far 2 episodes of respect.
You don't.
From these listeners.
You don't. Everyone we've talked to, nobody mentions you.
Gee.
Who have we talked to about this podcast?
All 2 of our listeners.
Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Zach and Olivia. Sorry. Just had to...
It's alright. They don't mention me either.
They only mention me.
Yeah.
But they don't even do that. They just say, hey, the podcast. They don't even call it a codcast, which it actually is.
Yeah, it is a codcast.
Codcast.
We have to have 1 episode.
1 episode. So, Aaron, what would you pay a lot of money?
Okay, let me premise this with the fact that
it's not $1 million.
I am a college boy.
He's a boy.
So, like,
you heard it here first. He's a boy.
10 years from now,
he's a
will
boy
I
and
probably
he's
say
engaged?
this still? In an honest world, yes. But I would like to think no. But
In an honest world, yeah.
I had said that I would pay specifically either Jacob or my cards. I don't know if they're not. I'm not sitting on them. They're not on my box.
We're still going to do more
All right,
rounds
anyway.
of cards.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were just
In
doing
this
one.
podcast, I thought we already did.
We can do one more round.
That's true. Okay.
All right, yeah.
Anyway,
I have fun
so
with the
I
game.
said that I would pay specifically either Jacob or Chris at some point in the future a significant amount of money, not $1 million, but enough to make this worth it. I would pay them money for them to go up to a random person. Doesn't necessarily have to be a stranger, but it would be made better if it were a stranger. For them to go up to this individual and say loudly and angrily, "Why are you looking at my penis? What are you doing? Please stop looking at my penis." And to make a big deal out of it, and then just to leave suddenly.
That's such an easy thing to do for money.
Listen, if you paid me $10,
I do that while we're recording.
I would walk up to like a significant member of Asbury leadership and be like, "Hey,
John Roller."
No.
Oh, so you have a
limit.
I do. I wanted to say names, but then I was like, no, this is going on the internet.
we still go here, so we really shouldn't.
But
we'll bleep that out. We'll bleep that out.
No, we won't.
All right. Yeah, we won't. We only have 2 listeners.
Beep. There was
Beep.
Anyway,
but we were talking about it.
This is the episode that goes viral on Asbury.
We've peaked.
Peaked.
I've peaked. It has to go viral.
It's being played on.
We get kicked off of Asbury, and our last words are, "We've peaked."
WACW's covering this. It's all over the place.
Mom, I might have not gotten a degree,
But I went viral,
We peaked, all right? And that's what matters. You can't pay money.
Mom, don't you want your boy to grow?
$1 million.
But
Mom, don't you want your boy to grow? All right. I'll start us off this time. I have a really good one.
I just want to say I'm sorry to my parents and everyone who thought I was far more mature than I am. Because
everyone should know how mature we're not.
I'm sorry.
I would never pay somebody to do that, Aaron. What is wrong with you?
Oh, I would take the money, but I wouldn't pay somebody to do that.
Oh my gosh, if somebody was like, hey, here's $15, go up and freak out on that person, I'd be like, bet.
Yeah, that gets me groceries.
So what just happened is...
I tried to pull out a water bottle from my fridge, and then all of the other water bottles came out. Alright, we're just going to leave those on the ground.
We're discussing topics here.
Anyway.
Alright.
3 of them.
3 of them. Alright, Aaron, I'm going to steal I've already stolen...
Aaron's butt is in my face.
I've already stolen 2 pieces of pizza from my friends, so now I'm going to steal a bottle of water because I'm a good guy.
I hope you like that, Chris. Anyway.
Right, so here we go. $1 million, but every time you fart,
Okay.
Go on.
Your head spins around, and we're talking a full 360.
Okay. I was about to say, 360.
And you projectile vomit.
I'd say no, because I know personally how much all 3 of us fart on a daily basis. We wouldn't be able to exist. Well, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat food.
Imagine how much weight you would lose, though.
You wouldn't gain anything.
Yeah. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, you die.
Can you die from vomiting too much?
Hey, $1 million and you die. Awesome.
There you go, Mom.
I don't think that requires discussion.
It doesn't.
No.
I fart so much.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm pretty sure in this Okay, how many times have we farted in this podcast?
I haven't farted at all.
Once maybe.
I think I farted once or twice. So, think about it. This happened in the middle of our discussions. You would have heard a twisting and crunching sound of my neck and then projectile vomit.
Listen.
Oh, that's amazing.
No space of yours would ever be clean.
No, we couldn't. We'd have to have a separate room to like sleep in and put all our stuff in. We would just need a vomit room.
I don't know how much I fart when I sleep. I assume a lot.
Dude,
You know in like horror movies or like in TV shows when a character becomes a monster.
Yes.
And they have that brief realization of their humanity again, and they tell the other main character, "Hey, just kill me." Like, I know what I'm doing is horrible, and I know that I am a monster, so just end it so that no one else gets hurt. That's what would, for me, that's what would happen. Like, after fart 200, and after I've been strapped down to the bed and I'm projectile vomiting, I would look at one of you and say, please, just end it.
So does it... Do you vomit while your head spins around? God.
Yes.
You're like
You become a fountain.
That's why we need a vomit room.
Gosh.
We'd have $1 million. We could do it.
But at what cost? You would go to buy
$1
something.
million.
I fart in social interactions. I'll be talking to a very pretty girl.
Yeah.
And I'll just fart.
Yeah.
I say a prayer. I'm like, don't let that stink.
Meeting with professors.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. I'll rip a fart sitting in my friend's room. I don't even care.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
But yeah, that's a no. That's a hard no.
We have a very mature podcast here.
That's
at,
a hard no.
We have a very mature podcast here.
I
At
would
3 on
even
3
debate
Industries.
that this is more mature, because do you hear common adults talking about this?
Well, we've already
Probably
talked about penises
probably...
and farting.
That's
so
true.
That'll get you every time.
Yep.
Yep.
Those are the 2 classic things. Anyway, all right. Keep going.
3 no's all around. We'll continue on.
Nose all around.
Yep.
$1 million butt. That's it. Just $1 million butt. You barf in your mouth.
Is it just once? Because that's easy money.
It.
Wait.
$1 million.
For the listeners out there, all right, just to clarify, the black card does only say $1 million, but so it's just $1 million. But then the yellow card, you barf in your mouth, and that's just once.
If it's
so that's
once,
a yes.
Easy.
Is my head?
I puke. So I puked last week when I had the cold. I get a common cold, or I eat something slightly off, and I'm just
that's so easy.
Yeah, like so.
Like, can my head at least spin 360
No.
degrees?
Somebody hands me $1 million, and I just go, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so easy.
I walk away, drink some water, fine.
Yeah, I really don't enjoy the sensation of throwing up. However,
I really enjoy
if
$1
it's
million.
once,
Oh yeah.
and think about it, like we've all had moments where you threw up a little bit in your mouth, and
When
that's
you
what this is.
burp, Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is talking about. Because this is insinuating the fact that it's not it's not bad enough for it to to spew, to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit. So yeah, 100%.
That's the easiest card I've ever seen.
All right, get ready for another. I think. I don't know. Yeah, actually, it's pretty easy, but not in a good way. All right, $1 million.
$1 million, but your wife died. Oh,
Carrie.
easy.
No.
I'm sorry, Carrie.
Anyway, $1 million, but whenever you witness an act of kindness, a random person has to spit a loogie into your mouth.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Listen, I was on a football team in Eastern Kentucky, and every one of those boys had been dipping since they were in middle school.
Oof.
And I hate spit so much. I hate it. That's all I'm saying is I hate it.
Yeah. Just the word loogie, I hate, so I couldn't take it.
Spit a loogie,
Sorry, I'm trying
put
to-
her on both
I'm
hands.
trying
There's
to-
no way you can make it work.
I know, I'm trying to think of any way where it would be worth it, but
It's not.
yeah.
Although it is $1 million.
But every act of kindness.
We go to a Christian school.
Yeah.
Okay, now I will say...
Praying for somebody counts.
That's true. Dang it.
You can't go to the Hiccup because they
can't-
have that free drink board where people buy each other drinks.
You can't sit in chapel.
can't do it. Yeah.
Everyone at chapel, it's just a loogie orgy.
Ew.
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Did you just say a loogie orgy?
I did.
Get out of this room. That's the worst thing I've... And Chris
Alright,
is
and
leaving.
everyone can say bye to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, I'm no longer here.
Oh, his spirit is with us.
Yep.
And also with you.
Amen. It's in the blood. It's in the blood.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog.
It's a no.
Yeah. That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
And by hard pass, I mean, that's not
That's an
hard at
absolute
all.
no. So
All right, so let's...
that round was 2 no's and a yes.
Yeah, so let's move on to our next area, which is also pretty funny. We got a pretty funny episode for you guys this week.
Do we?
Yeah.
Is this funny?
It's funny to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy loud, random laughter, because that's what this whole episode's been recently.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk now about... It can be yourself or something that you've seen. We're going to go around and share cringy moments that we've seen
Oh, yeah, I've got it.
in real life.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to...
I'll start us off with a bad one.
Okay.
My 6th grade year.
This is already bad. Middle school.
Yeah, that's great.
So it should be noted that I had buck teeth
Okay.
Really?
in early middle school and all throughout elementary school, yeah. I don't have the best teeth now, but they're a lot better than what they used to be. So I, when I was old bucktooth middle schooler, I thought I'll just make a new name for myself.
Okay,
So-
now you meant like nickname, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So
no.
I insisted that all of my teachers and all of the students call me T-Dog.
Great
And I was
start.
a very pudgy middle schooler. I was a very pudgy middle schooler.
All right.
So this white little middle school boy running up, hey, call me T-Dog. That's about how it was. And you want to know how I got that name?
Go on.
I heard it in a movie. I was like, that's awesome.
I was gonna assume The Walking Dead.
Nope. It was it was that movie about it was Drill Bit Taylor.
I don't know it.
It was a good movie. You should go watch it. But yeah, that's my first one.
If you're not hearing any laughter, it's because it's the cringe.
Yeah, it's bad. It was bad.
Oh, T-Dog.
Yeah, T-Dog.
And it's not even
I can't
like,
even call you that now as a joke.
and it's
That's
not
just
even
bad.
cringe. I was about to say, it's not even cringe because of something random. It like that is such a middle school. It's not even like good.
Yeah.
Like if I saw a grown
Nothing against people
in middle school
who were called T-Dog.
Yeah.
But you're probably not in 6th grade.
And you probably fit the bill.
Yeah.
Like, even now, nobody could call me T-Dog. I just don't look like a T-Dog. You know what I'm saying? Dog. All right, Aaron.
Aaron's next.
Dog.
Aaron's next.
All right. So this was in 10th grade. And, oh, gosh. Okay, so I lived in Georgia through 9th grade for my entire life. And right after 9th grade, I moved to Kentucky. And, I'd say 2.5-ish months into the school year, I'd made a few friends. And for every day for school, my dad is a principal, and my mom also works in education. So I would be taken to the high school pretty early in the morning every day because they were obviously my rides to school at that point. And there was a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, her name's Miranda. Her mom was a teacher, so she was there early as well. So we became friends pretty quickly, and we would always have just good conversations in the mornings. And this was, I don't remember what day of the week, it was in the middle of the week at some point. And I had been taken to school that day, and we were talking, and she said, hey, I'm not going to be at school tomorrow. And I said, oh, why not? Because, I was just trying to be nice. And she said, well, I'm going to a funeral. And she said, for who? Or, no, she didn't. I said, for who?
Aaron, no.
And
Aaron, no.
She said, for my step-grandmother. And, okay, before I continue, I just need to say that
Aaron.
Everything I say beyond this point in the conversation, it wasn't as a joke. It wasn't said with malice. I meant it very logically and genuinely. But also, I was an idiot. Yeah. So, that also explains it.
Flashback to last episode. I lack what some would call common sense.
Yes, if you remember
I'm sorry,
that,
Aaron's dad.
This is where this comes from. Oh, yeah, my dad enjoys this story. But, okay, so she said, my step-grandmother, to which my reply was, oh, she can wait. Because my thought process that had gone through my mind for that split second was, she's dead, thus, she doesn't, it doesn't have to be rushed.
What? Oh, my dear goodness.
No, it doesn't end there.
What?
So Miranda...
Did you look this girl in her eye and say, I can wait, don't worry about it?
Yes.
What does she have to wait for?
So Miranda, she started to just, not necessarily freak out, but the step right before freak out. Her eyes just widened, and she was just really taken aback. And I saw that, and I thought, well, crap, I really need to backpedal. So that's not what I did. And instead, I said, oh, no, you're right. You really definitely, you need to go to the funeral, you're right. You don't want to go there in 3 days. And she'd be decomposing. You really don't want that.
Aaron!
And at that point, she starts crying and runs to the girls' restroom. And at this point, all of our other friends had gotten there. And the girls in the group said, Aaron... why? And they ran after. And our one guy friend, his name's Dalton, he's my best friend, one of my best friends, and he looked at me and he said, Aaron, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know. And there's really no reason for it.
I have a similar story to that. I have a similar story, but I really want to hear Chris's cringe story, so I'll say it after him.
Good.
Alright, so this was sophomore year of high school. bit of context. My first 2 years of high school, I attended a school called Montessori. And to dumb down the definition of Montessori, it's a school for where homeschool kids can all go together to be homeschooled and learn at their own pace.
Let's be homeschooled together at Asbury University.
There's teachers, but they're called like learning coaches. So
they're there to help you along.
Yeah, the students teach themselves.
Got it.
Okay.
So this school was only 2 years.
This is the school you took me to, right?
No, this was the first one.
Oh.
This is the school before the good school.
Okay.
So this school was just it had just started, and like I was in my sophomore year. It was 2 years old, so the people I knew there were like the homeschooled of the homeschooled. just like it was very awkward a lot. Like sophomore year, we have a guest come in for sex ed.
No.
Sex ed.
Learning at your own pace, am I right, kids?
Oh, that makes it worse. Sex ed with homeschoolers is not fun.
Okay.
But one.
The mic picked that random noise up.
Well, if you're that was the sound of college.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So sex ed.
Okay, yeah.
And I won't name names because I feel bad about this.
Sure, yeah.
This person was more homeschooled than the rest.
Okay.
What's an ed? Sorry.
It was. She was the most awkward person to be involved with.
Okay.
And like she didn't get like the whole social norms thing for what homeschoolers can know.
Sure.
And where I forget everything we learned at that sex ed course, of course.
Yeah.
Except at the end when the person goes, "Are there any questions?" We're in a moment of silence because no one wants to ask questions. We're all looking around, and this person raises her hand and just goes, this is her voice. What's oral sex?
Wait.
Is that like kissing?
Okay, wait. This is 10th grade, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And she, first of all, on the pro side, she's got guts.
Yeah. And it was that moment was even more awkward than it already was. Everyone was quieter than they already were.
Wait, okay, so I know you don't remember much from this. Was there anything in that course, in that day, that would have led her to ask that? Because
the person that came in handed us a box and told us to write in questions about sex.
I mean about like the curriculum. Because like in my sex ed classes, I think we may have mentioned that maybe like once, but it was never I
couldn't tell you. I've blocked out every memory from that school because it was the worst experience of my life.
I mean, it's fair, yeah.
I was depressed. I was probably suicidal. I had tumors growing in my head that were slowly killing me.
Specifically his nose.
Yeah.
We just found out a lot about Chris. Wow.
It's an exciting time.
This is a...
And like we said, this is where Chris peaks. So.
This is where Chris peaks.
I peaked.
This is his peak.
The people in Philadelphia, they're all like, wow, he sure did.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I have one.
Wait. Before we continue, no, I don't have any more. But I just want to know what you guys think. Out of those three stories, where do we rank?
Oh, I'd say Aaron number one for sure.
I'd say mine's number 2. Yours is at like -10.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I thought that was the most cringe, but mine was. But after hearing you guys' stories, all right.
I'm excited for the new one. All right.
This one's a lot like Aaron's first one.
It's not a good thing.
There was this girl. I was in 10th grade.
There's always girls.
I was in 10th grade, and I went to help with FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yeah.
because I played football. So I'm at FCA, and I'm at FCA. Please stop, you guys out in the hallway. Please stop yelling. But so I'm at FCA, and there's this girl, and I'm very tall in high school, but there's this girl who's very not tall.
Okay. So, very short for those who...
and I don't remember her name.
Opposite of you.
Yes. I'm trying not to say names, but I don't remember her name at all, so it's okay. But I remember I looked at her.
Oh, no.
First thing I said. She was very insecure about her height.
Okay.
First thing I said, "Hey, you're really short." And she broke down.
Oh.
Wait. Was the first thing you'd ever said to her?
Yeah.
Oh.
She walked up, and I wasn't like, "Hey, you're short." I was like, "Hey, you're really short." And she was like, "Oh my God." And like started crying.
That sounds like the most high school thing I've ever heard.
And I like to say I feel bad, but like...
What's wrong with you? You can't speak.
Okay, yeah.
Your dead grandma can wait.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Dead step-grandma.
Well, that doesn't really make
It doesn't make it any better.
It does.
Jeez, stop reliving it.
Anyway, all right, back to the short
He
girl.
relives that moment every day of his life.
Yeah, but she just started crying. Just out of nowhere. That was a bad one.
We're some great guys.
I can gladly say I've never made a girl cry in high school.
Here we go. Here's I think this is top tier. So my first band.
Wait, is this a new story?
Yes.
Okay, new story.
I think this one's top tier. My first band was a rock band.
Okay.
And
wait, when?
Rock Band 3
school.
On the Xbox 360.
Okay. In high school. But we were all really good musicians solo-y.
For high school.
Solo, yeah, like as solo things, but like towards the end of that little band, we started getting really good and playing like a lot more shows than like you would expect a high school band to do.
Okay.
But so the worst show we ever had was our first one. We got asked by a youth group in our town.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay, wait, did they know?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh no. No.
Keep going.
We got asked by a youth group in our town. I've never told this story, to go in and play for a lock-in, and we went in, we loaded up, we were there early that day getting all the sound stuff, like we were taking it very seriously. And then this youth group really wants to worship. We're in their home church's sanctuary. And what worship song do we play but Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin?
Oh, no.
We start out with that one. Then we play Going to California by Led Zeppelin. And then we play an actual Christian song. But middle of that Christian song, I saw that nobody was into it. So I looked at the band. I was the lead singer. I looked at the band and said, "All right, guys, we're done." And then we just stopped mid-song and walked off stage. That's top tier cringe right there.
Yeah.
But I learned something from that cringe. Is it's okay to go up on a stage and just suck. For all you new musicians out there starting a new band, it is totally okay to go up on a stage and just suck. Because you learn from it. You learn what not to do. So yeah, there's our cringe topic. I feel like that's a good one to end on.
Yeah, I don't want to keep going with that.
All right.
That was just a lot.
Somebody, quick, let's cleanse our palate. Somebody introduce the last topic.
Oh gosh, it's like wading through mud, and that mud is cringe. All right, okay, last topic.
News this week.
News this week.
Henry Cavill is rumored to be out as Superman.
Yeah, we can start spouting a few things out and let's see what catches on. All right.
Henry Cavill is also.
Henry Cavill's out he's in The Witcher 3 as
he's
Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia
in Netflix.
Netflix's The Witcher, and I could not be more excited. I don't know how he's going to play the character, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, a lot of news has been coming around in the past 24 hours concerning Henry Cavill.
He doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah. But you know what I think would be just a fun last time? It's just came to my mind. and I know Chris will for sure be interested in this. Let's talk about Apple's new phones.
No.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
No.
Oh yeah.
All
Just
right,
know
so
that all this is
yesterday-
being
Okay.
recorded on
So-
a MacBook Pro.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
Apple. Just when you go into this, you have to list the names.
Yeah,
of the
that's what
three
I'm
of them.
doing. For
Okay.
those that don't know, Apple yesterday, really dating the recording of this podcast, Apple announced the iPhone XS, the XS Max, and the XR.
Okay, and do you know what those stand for, Chris?
I don't.
The XR stands for scare.
Will it make me cringe?
Well, okay. So,
That's all I need to know.
Apple
Apple has peaked.
Apple peaked. Apple peaked.
All right. It's interesting in the fact that, like, the way I have viewed Apple, at least with this past wave of phones, this is not the XS, the XR, or the XS Max, which, at the very least, is a mouthful.
Too much.
But,
it's too much mouth.
I just think,
Way too much
for example, with the iPhone X, like, $1,000, and I know they're going to lower the prices, but, because they said they have, it's not like a rumor, they are, but $1,000 for a phone, when there are better phones, tech-wise, for a few $100s less, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Because at that point, and you can try to argue against this, I honestly don't think, though, you can in this situation. You're buying the name at that point. It's not buying the best phone. It's just buying an Apple phone.
It's been like that for many years.
It's what Steve would have wanted.
No.
Oh.
It's the opposite.
Yeah,
Do you know how much he was against the idea of the Apple Pencil? And then the moment he died, they did it.
I did not know that.
He did not want to do a stylus or anything of the like at all.
Dang. Well, I'll tell you what. I like Apple products. Sometimes their phones kind of give me the jitters, but I like Apple products because I can use them easily. I can access everything on my phone from my computer, and my roommate has a tablet and an Apple computer and a Apple phone. He can access everything he has from one of those devices. I like them because as a creative person and as a creator, we record all this on a Mac, and it's my Mac and my Mac iMac. My iMac. Say that 3 times fast. But Aaron's legitimately trying to without
Anyway.
But the reason I like them is if we're critiquing them, for creators, they're a really good tool. And I mean creators as in like music and art. Film creators, like I know Chris uses what kind of computer do you use, Chris?
I used an Asus.
An Asus, yeah. So film creators can use something other than a Mac, but I feel like music and visual art a Mac is really the way to go, in my opinion. And that's kind of been like my experience with it too. Is everybody that I work with uses a Mac. At the church I work for, it's all run on Macs and everything Mac.
Yeah. From a lot of the reviews I've been reading recently, in terms of what people have thought of Apple products in general, in comparison with other products, the way that I would say it is that okay, so you know how like once every couple of months, nowadays anyway, you will meet someone who's in their, let's say, high 20s, low 30s, and they're like stuck in the early thousands to late 90s.
Yeah.
That's what Apple is. Apple is a few years ago. Because and I say that because, and you bring up a good point, and this has been a pro for Apple since the beginning, is the integration. If you have an Apple laptop, an Apple phone, an Apple Watch, they're all synced together.
Or an Apple.
And you can access
Apple Snapple.
Exactly. And you can access anything on your Apple or your Snapple. You can access everything together. But and that was not the case a few years ago for anything else.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, it's changing. Google is now an enormous name in terms of tech nowadays. And now, I mean, Pixel everything. There's going to be a Pixel Watch in a year or two. They've got the Pixel Book. You've got the Pixel phone. So it's the same thing. And same thing for laptops in general. I know Windows is about to release an update where they're going to have Android messages be a part of the operating system.
Ooh, that's pretty sweet.
Oh,
so I
makes
think
me so happy.
It's just one of those things where unless Apple does something new, by the end of this year or maybe the beginning of next year, everyone, if not already, everyone's caught up.
Yeah.
And everyone's doing new stuff. I mean, Apple phones are, they're throwing in new tech or new operating systems. I know, like iOS 12 is, if it's not already out, it's coming out. But Samsung and several other phone companies, they're talking about foldable phones, which, by the way, they're already prototyping.
Apple's
not
behind by like 2 to 3 years.
And
cell phone wise, I will agree with you on that. I just one thing I like about my Mac is it's now before I get into any of this and before we continue with this, I think it's safe to say that a computer is what you use it for. I use my Mac for audio and for recording and stuff like that. That's kind of like when you go to a professional recording studio, it's kind of industry standard to use a Mac or like a really nice Mac. Yeah. But that's just because they're refined enough to be able to run, like it's simple to use. If meaning like I don't have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops to mix something. I can just say I want to mix this part of this thing and begin mixing. I don't even need a soundboard, soundboards are recommended, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah. So there's that, but I talked with a lot of guys over the summer who they would see my Mac. I'd go to a coffee shop and I'd be working on some mixes for some stuff.
Yeah.
And they would be like, "Oh, cool Mac, dude. That's a $2,000 Facebook machine." I'm like, this is a tool that I use for my craft. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what kind of computer do you run, man? They're like, dude, I run an HP, man, and I got Steam on that thing, and I push so many games on Steam. Well, if you're using your computer for a gaming console, get a gaming computer. The Apple's not a gaming computer, you know what I mean?
Not at all.
Not at all, but like, I don't know how we got onto computers. But
it's just Apple in general.
Apple in general. So I will say, like, their computers are good as tools. I will agree with you guys. I hate to admit it. I'm keeping my iPhone literally for just...
What's your iPhone model?
This is the 6S. No, the 7.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's where I stopped with Apple. I had a 6 Plus, and then I'm on a Galaxy S9 now.
Yeah.
The 7 is where I drew the line with the headphone jack.
Yeah.
I can't support what they're doing with their phones anymore. I don't even think the XS changed anything with camera specs. I think they just made a bigger screen.
Yeah.
That's what they've always done.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the big thing is just that, and it's not that I don't want Apple to succeed, because I think that's just harsh. I do want Apple to succeed, but I do want an Appleseed. I do want Apple to succeed, but I don't like it when people herald them as really leading the way and stuff. When they used to, and of course they did, but I don't think that's the case right now.
They haven't since the smartwatch was created.
Yeah, and I just
what used to be a big thing, and I know other computers can do this now. But what used to be huge was I could text people on my phone and from my computer. Now I know other computers can do that now, but at the same time, a few years ago, other computers couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a huge plus. And it's still a huge plus for me now. I'll be working and get a text from a colleague or from a friend or something like that, and I can shoot that text right back, no problem at all. Yeah. But so yeah, that was a plus, but now it's kind of not. You can literally text from anything.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You don't even need to text anymore. You can just say what you want to say and it sends.
I know. Isn't it crazy? That was supposed to be sarcastic, but it didn't. It was so well delivered that you didn't catch on to it.
Yeah, but speaking of delivering texts,
yeah,
I think our text right now is BRB because I think this is it. We've hit our 3 topics.
We peaked.
Well, Chris peaked.
Yeah, Chris.
I still got a few episodes, but
Chris peaked.
Yeah, this is my peak. I might not even be back next episode.
Chris may not be back to college.
He's signing a contract with the
Disney.
Yeah, with Disney, and
he's the new voice of Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
and he's also the new stand-in for Jar Jar Binks. So be sure to catch him.
I think I'd kill myself.
He's actually he got a new gig with Dave Chappelle. He's actually Dave Chappelle's mic stand.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
Dave Chappelle is just a very famous comedian.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening again. And you can catch us on the next one.
Yeah. For all of us here at 3 on 3 Industries, I'm Jacob.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Aaron.
All right, you guys have a good rest of your day or evening.